Learned this week from the House Budget Director that there may be some changes in terms of what the governor's been asking for in terms of bonding for bridges.
Yes, I support what Governor Parson, as well as most of the legislature, is trying to do as far as find a funding source for highway improvements and bridge improvements. The governor's come out with a bold plan. I do have some reservations about his plan, but I'm glad that he has come out trying to think outside the box. However, this week, the House Budget Chair came out with an alternative plan to try and help fund our bridges and roads as well. His plan calls for $100 million of general revenue to be spent over the next 5 years. And so we would have $500 million of improvements over the next 5 years being used solely on improvements versus an alternative plan that we have heard about, which would be a bonding bill where we would get $350 million worth of road and bridge improvements, but it would cost the state and state taxpayers $450 million over the next 15 years. I support his idea. I know there's several details to be worked out, not only with it, but as we consider what the governor's proposal is as well. But I think just overall, I believe taxpayers would support not going into debt, not doing any more bonding, and look at spending our current resources on those infrastructure needs.
And I know this has been a big deal for a lot of the state, and is that there are a lot of the small parts of the state, rural parts of the state, that would be affected or would be helped, I guess, by either of these plans.
Yes, the objective of this plan is to help out with those roads and bridges, not just in urban areas, but rural areas as well. Being the state center for the 21st Senatorial District, I have 8 very rural counties. We do have a lot of highway and bridge infrastructure needs, and so I think that we're on a path to some sort of compromise, and I'm hopeful that we can get something passed this legislative session.
Got a bill this week that's on its way to the House, and that's one that addresses the use of drones in or around prisons in the state.
Yes, you would think that this would be a common sense bill. Most certainly, under current Missouri state statute, it is not illegal to fly a drone over a correctional facility or mental health facility. So someone could actually take a drone, fly the drone over a state prison, fly it over a county jail, drop a knife, drop a gun, drop drugs, drop needles, drop a shank, anything into the courtyard, and that would not be considered illegal. What my bill does is it makes those things illegal. It just seems to be common sense that it would be illegal to drop contraband into a correctional facility. It was passed this week in the Senate and now is headed over to the House for their consideration.
Another of your measures deals with health care and developmental disabilities in children.
Yes, we worked hard to make sure that there was a compromise between the advocacy groups as well as the insurance companies on my Senate Bill 45. Numerous studies have found that when our most vulnerable kids receive treatment and therapy as a kid, they are more likely to lead independent, self-sufficient, happy, healthy lives as an adult and become less dependent on the state. Senate Bill 45 simply tags on to our current insurance coverage for those children that have some sort of autism disorder and provides that for other disorders such as mental or physical disorders for our children. I think this bill is very important. We want to make sure that our most vulnerable kids are covered and have the resources and therapy that they need as children before it's too late in their adult lives.